Hi guys, it's Brittany here. Max is on shift today, so it's just me, and I'm going to give you a tour of our chicken coop. Max made a video sometime last year, but we've made a couple of modifications since then, and so I'm going to show you what we've done. And also, this is the first video with our DJI stabilizer, so I'm interested to see how it works. First, just to give you a overall view of the coop, we were blessed to have an empty building out on the farm that we weren't using. They used to use it as a milk barn, I believe, so we were able to turn it into our chicken coop. Got a door there that goes outside, some windows that let in some light. There's the entrance door, which is also connected to another room, kind of used as just a storage area. And yeah, so we've had the chicken coop about 2 years. This spring will be 2 years that we got it started. We put in the nesting boxes. We built those ourselves, Dad and Max and I. And so, yeah, so we have some nesting boxes there. We put up the grass skirt to kind of give them a more protected feel while they were laying. Some of the chickens seem to like it, some don't really care. So our first thing that we automated was the feeding. If you've done any chicken research, you've probably seen this device. It's basically a 55-gallon trash can with circular holes cut out of it and PVC 90s placed into it. What this allows us to do is to pour in up to 100 pounds of feed all at one time. So we don't have to come out every day and feed the chickens, or if we're out of town for a couple days, they have food. It also keeps mice and other critters out of it for the most part. The chickens then stick their head inside the holes and can get to the food. I think you can see the food down in there. Before, we were just using a trough. They were eating all of that food pretty quickly, so this works much, much better. So we have the nesting boxes. We have a short piece of wood there to keep the nesting material inside, and then we can remove that. It just lifts up when we need to clean it. We tried to put a taller piece on there, but the chickens thought that that was a good place to roost, so we went back to the shorter piece. One of the coolest things that we have is our automated door opening system. So we purchased a garage door opener off of Facebook page where they sell stuff. I think we paid around $35 for it. Max hooked it up to a relay, and it's now hooked up to just a traditional timer that you use for any electrical outlet with the pegs. So what happens is at 6 in the morning, or the time varies a little bit depending on the time of year, but we try to set it when it's light outside. This door that's on a pulley system opens, and the chickens can go outside. Right after dusk, the door will close. The chickens have learned to come inside before the door closes. When we first installed this, we did have to kind of show them what time to come inside, what time curfew was for the first couple days, but they seem to pick up on that pretty quickly. So the door opens in the morning, allows the chickens to go outside in free range, and then closes at night, which keeps it warmer in here and also keeps any critters from coming into the coop at night. So that's been huge. We don't have to come out at 6 in the morning If we get home really late, they're already inside, nice and protected. And if we're out of town, they're able to still go outside in free range. The other thing that we've automated that has been just a huge blessing and time saver, especially during the winter, is our watering system. So we have a old toilet tank that we got from some friends, and it's hooked up to this PVC pipe. On the other end where the tubing is, it's hooked up to a spigot. So what happens is as the chickens drink through these little cups, then the water level in the toilet tank drops. The float recognizes that, and so it fills up just like a normal tank would in your house. So the tank is always full, so the chickens always have water. We don't have to come out and clean up their water. If you know anything about chickens, their water gets dirty. Sometimes not as bad as ducks, but it still gets dirty. During the winter when it's really cold, it's nice to not have to mess with that. We haven't had any problems with it freezing because it's inside. What we did experience, though, was that the chickens like to stand on these little cups. We think we came out a couple different times and they had broken off. The cups had broken off. And because it's hooked up to a constant water source, it was free flowing in here. There was water everywhere. It was a huge mess, and not good for the chickens to be standing in water, and all the shavings were wet, and it was just really, really gross and a pain to clean up. After the second time that happened, we realized that we think they were standing on them or standing on the PVC pipe, somehow breaking them off. So we fashioned that piece of board to keep them from standing on it. When we redid that, we also put in a drain system so that if for some reason we do have to work on the tank, then we can hook up a hose to this faucet right down here, and we can drain the whole system into a bucket or outside or anywhere, but just not on the ground. And that allows us to work on the watering system if we need to. We originally had a different kind of watering nipples that the chickens use. We learned that those leaked a lot, and so we switched to these cups. These cups also, we had a little bit of issues with them leaking, so we siliconed them and used some hot glue when we installed our new, our updated system. So other than that, I think the only other thing left to talk about is the roost. We built the original roost with only 3 rungs for them to stand on. We went in and put in a second one just because we had more chickens and felt like it gave them more space. You'll see there that we have a rope. So that allows us to hoist up the roost whenever we clean out the coop, and then we hook it on that little hook back there so that it's out of the way. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have any questions or any suggestions, please feel free to post them below. We'd love if you liked our video, and yeah, thanks for watching.